Oops. Hello. Welcome. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are on this beautiful planet. And I'm still trying to get over Amac's comment about the Christmas card put through her door, which said, best wishes for 1926. Oh, and that's classic. That is classic. Okay, Christine. Yes, I've seen your question about how to, has anyone had to look at how readily your senses of loyalty is countermanded by your need for approval? So Christine has put that forward as a question to consider. Shirley, hello. Elaine, hello. Kiki Law, good to see you. Samantha, hello. And everyone in the Soul Fam, see me. Yes, everyone, welcome, welcome. Well, my head is buzzing, my eyes are spinning around because I've been doing, I have nearly done all the 2026 year ahead videos. I've got 2 more to do. Today I did Sagittarius and Capricorn. And I had to do Capricorn twice because when I listened back to Capricorn, it wasn't right. It just didn't cut it. So I did it again. And I now just have Aquarius and Pisces to do, and I will get them done this week anyway. I'm not going to make any promises about when this week, but they will be done this week. And of course, we have a new moon next Saturday. And so I have to pre-record that too. Thank you, Christine. You've obviously already seen, Christine Jones, you've seen your sun sign and rising sign. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And Paula from Kentucky, hello. You're coming off a week of a lot of confrontation. You're watching from work, Beth Hendrickson. Jim, good morning. And Penny's standards are high. I'm very high. I'm high because I'm tall, and I'm high because I do have high standards. Yes, you're absolutely right, Jim. And we have a week ahead with some astrology, and I will come into that in a minute. But first of all, how is everyone? Hello, Soul Fam. It's so lovely to be here. Hi, Cosmic 3IA. Great to see you. And yes, Christine in Cyprus. I think Jim is the one to help you with that. So Jim, Christine in Cyprus is asking if about the clash between loyalty and needing to be approved of. And I think, yes, they are kind of interlinked. Liz the Iron Maiden, hello, my darling. Hello. We will come to it, I'm sure, Christine. So what is happening this week? Because I do feel that this second half of, hello, Annabelle, this second half of December is getting a little bit like speeding up. The energies are speeding up. I just watched, Stefan Burns' latest video, because he was saying because of the heliocentric alignment, excuse me, alignments of planets, and the fact that both Venus and Mars are behind the sun currently, so they're Cazimi the sun, and we have this alignment heliocentrically. That means from the position of the sun, not from the position of Earth, which is what traditional Western astrology is. Hello, Brandy Lee, good to see you, welcome. And so what he's saying is because there's a really large coronal hole on one side of the sun. I learned something interesting today, and I'm jumping all over the place, but the sun, you know, our moon takes 28 days to go round our planet, Earth. Well, the sun's orbit, how long it takes to go round on its little orbit, is 28 days. And I thought, oh, I didn't know that. That is really super interesting. There's all this convoluting kind of things that all meet up. Hello, Dee Dee. December 18, is it good for exams? Ooh, it's the day before Three-Eye Atlas comes closest to Earth. What do I think about exams? I think because we're moving into, we're coming to the end of Sagittarius, I think that you're still okay for the 18th for exams because we're in Sagittarius, which is about learning and study. So I think you'll be fine. Christine Jones is saying, have we recently forgotten that we all owe our allegiance to our personal truth in life? True. See me. Is it me, or are the planets lining up to have a few good tower moments in the first 6 months? Yes, they are heliocentrically, which means from the view of the sun. And in fact, Saturn and Neptune that are conjunct in geocentrically in the first sign of Aries at 0 degrees on the 20th of February next year were actually completely conjunct in the sky to look at it yesterday. I think that means we are at the door is opening on whatever it is going to unfold. Now, just coming back to, yes, Paula, solstice is coming. Yeah, we need love and peace. Absolutely. You're a Leo rising, Dee Dee. Yeah, it's going to be, yeah. Do you know, I think everyone has the potential for a very positive year next year. But you know what I'll say? I think every year can be positive. It's what we do with it. We have choice. We must never forget we have choice. The planets can throw some pretty, awful transits at us, but it's hang on, what we do with them. We have to, no, can't quite get that right. That's better. It's what we do with them. It's what we do with the energies. It's how we decide to work with it, which is why having an understanding of your chart and the transits can be so empowering. But the other thing Stefan Burns was saying is that the way the planets are lining up heliocentrically, aligned with the solar, what did I call it? There's a coronal hole on the sun and some plasma ejections from the sun. It's lining up the energy to perhaps produce, not definitely, but perhaps produce on Earth a really big megaquake. That doesn't mean it's going to happen. And because Japan has had some rumblings around that area, he said it is probably more indicated towards that area, but it would be in the sea, most probably. So it's just something to take a look on. He said, I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, he said. And hello, Essence of Joy. Judy Sutton, hello. Good to see you. Thank you, Jim. Thank you. So let's just have a look at what is happening this week, because today, the 14th, Mars has been squaring Neptune. That's quite, hang on, Christine, are the planets giving a warning signal of approaching danger? I think it's just that they are giving a signal of potential Earth movement. So I think it's important not to react, but to respond and go, okay, the energy is, because if you live in areas that are prone to Earth movements, you can be prepared. I know that people that live in earthquake zones have a grab bag. They have a bag they can just grab if anything's happening and rush out. And I know you're there, Andy, and you're at hockey, and I missed your message, but hello. Yes, Jim, a signal to be ready to make choices. Well said. Well said. So today Mars is squaring Neptune. So Mars, our planet of energy, action, assertion, our god of war, squaring Neptune, which is illusion and delusion. So this is a little bit of an anomaly, and this is quite complex, and it's on a sort of personal level. It blurs that line between will, surrender, action, illusion, a little bit like's coming up in the chat. Oh my God, what do? We don't know. Is there going to be an earthquake? Should we take action? We don't know. It's like saying we're going to have bad weather. And isn't it better that we might know we're going to get bad weather? Because in very simplistic terms, in the sense of what we may expect energetically, if there's no earthquakes, which there may not be, doesn't mean there is, we may find our sleeping patterns are yet again disrupted with this energy. And you'll be pleased to know, because I was talking last week about the terrible night's sleep, or rather lack of night's sleep I had last Saturday. But thankfully, this week has got better. And I did go to the doctor and just have a chat with him. And he suggested I try increasing my magnesium, which I have, and that's helping, and actually taking some melatonin. So I started that, but I gather the effects of it builds up. I'm not a doctor. Don't take me as, I'm not giving medical advice. I'm just saying that this is what was suggested to me. And hopefully so far. Hello, Laura Tripp. Good to see you. It's Dreek, is it? AMAC. Overcast, wet, windy. How's the weather in BC? You're in the middle, see me, of a Chinook. -20 to +9 overnight. Woo! That's quite dramatic. That's quite dramatic. Now, this energy today, which we're just going to be feeling a little bit of, it makes it seem as if the direction forward is unclear, because Mars wants to go. It's also in Sagittarius, which definitely wants to go. And Neptune is going, no, I don't know. Maybe we'll just kind of like hang around here. Maybe we'll just wonder whether or not there will be an earthquake. Well, there will be an earthquake somewhere, whether it's a big one or a small one, we really don't know. But there may not be one at all. And then we worry about nothing. But I think forewarned is forearmed, and it is most likely to be Pacific and Japan as the environs of Japan. That seems to be what Stefan Burns, the astrophysicist, no, he's a geologist, isn't he, and an astrophysicist. So let me see what else is happening, because also today, the sun in Sagittarius is making a trine to Chiron. So Chiron, of course, is our wounded healer. So it's actually giving us quite a nice energy to heal. So healing discussions. With the chat tonight, we can have healing discussions. We can have meaningful discussions that help us feel a little bit better about, well, everything. So that is nice energy. And tomorrow, Mars moves from Sagittarius into Capricorn. And that is, Mars likes being in Capricorn. Mars works hard in Capricorn. And I know wonderful conscious medium Brandon Russ has Mars in Capricorn, and boy, does he work hard. And I remember him always saying to me, my Mars in Capricorn really gets me working hard. And I just want to send, just in case you're watching, Brandon, best wishes and healing vibes. Brandon has been a bit poorly, and he's okay now, but he did go through a little bit of a difficult time with his health, but he is on the mend. So sending you lots of love and healing, Brandon, and we miss you, and get well soon, and take the amount of rest that you need. Do as you're told. So there we go. So that's a bit of news there. Now, also tomorrow, Venus, our planet of love, relationship, value, money, is also making a nice aspect to Chiron. We've got this, because what's happened is we've had this stellium of planets in Sagittarius, and they're all queuing up, and they're all starting to, they're getting closer and closer. And of course, we've got the new moon in Sagittarius on Saturday. And so we really have this preponderance of Sagittarian energy. And that was the sign that I did today. I did the 2026 overview for Sagittarius and Capricorn. So if you're Sagittarius sun or rising, or Capricorn sun or rising, they're finally uploaded to my channel for 2026. Jim yearns for meaningful discussions, even after you have them. Ah, yes, don't we all yearn for meaningful discussions? And let's have a meaningful discussion now, then, I think is the best way to look at it. And, you know, Venus in Sagittarius is looking for adventure, and that's exactly where she is. And I think maybe we're all looking for a little bit of adventure. And trining Chiron in Aries is a really warm, expansive, healing aspect. And I think we will notice, as time passes this week, a renewed sense of confidence, emotional freedom. And I think we're going to feel better about sharing our love and actually showing people how we, how we feel. Hi, Poonam. Yes, sending healing to Brandon too. Yes. And Jim's very chatty today. Hello, Jim. Good to see you, chattering away. So what else have we got? Because yes, I think that Venus trine Chiron can also bring us the opportunities over the next few days to heal relationship wounds. So anyone perhaps that you've had a few cross words with, anyone where it's been a little bit, or someone you haven't spoken to for a while and you feel a bit guilty and you're not quite sure how to, make contact again, then actually Venus trine Chiron is saying, just do it. That person will be glad to hear from you. So just do it. I think also Venus trine Chiron will help to strengthen one's confidence, and we will feel we will have the courage, if you like, to express what we want openly and not look for permission. And in a sense, this links in with what Christine in Cyprus is saying, that do we, through loyalty, do we have to, really put ourselves into, it sounds like a more people-pleasing type of energy. And, I can't remember now exactly what you said, Christine. If you can come back on and just tell me, remind me, that would be absolutely brilliant. Liz, you've had some crazy synchronicities this week, very meaningful, but mood dropped this morning, but you're okay now. I think that will shift. I think that's the Mars square Neptune or trine Neptune. It's just bringing in a little bit of illusion, can't quite see things, confusion. Poonam, meaningful conversations is something that you've been craving for too, and you're glad that that's come up. Help with anxiety. Well, actually, I am going to give you something today to help with anxiety, but that's coming at the end. And remember, I'll just remind you again, Poonam, most of the things we worry about never actually happen. Shall I repeat that? Most of the things we worry about never actually happen. And if you keep on doing what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. Christine, at this time, I think we should recognize the servants of humanity, Those people who serve others or humanity in some way. Let us celebrate the charity work of the philanthropist, the nurse, the counsellor. Absolutely. Amen, as Jim says. We should. And I think that is very helpful. And I think that, what was I talking about? I was talking about Venus trining Chiron, that what we have to be careful with a trine is we don't bypass the emotions and cover the feelings over with humor or unrealistic optimism. And I think with everything that is happening on the planet at the moment and potentially in our own lives, we need some reality checks. Elaine, bless you. You just love you, Penny. Thanks for keeping this so real. I do my best. Oh, Rita, just what you needed to hear. Your anxiety has been awful. Stay in the present. There is only the present. We have nothing else. We have what anxiety is the inability to live with uncertainty. But the harsh truth is we only have uncertainty if we're looking down the path. We can't possibly know. Astrology gives us a framework to put these fears and feelings and hopes and wishes into some sense of context. But it can't take away the uncertainty. But it can give us a structure to somehow navigate these energies as they come up. I hope that's helpful. Poonam, got it. You need to work really hard at remembering that concept. Yeah, when you start jumping into your rabbit holes, write it down, Poonam. Most of the things you worry about never actually happen. Write it down. Yes, Jim, it is a truth, isn't it? Feared possibilities often happen elsewhere. Because, you know, in one's own experience, if we think about it, most of the things we fear don't happen. It's the things we never thought would happen that come and go whoosh, and we go, oh, I never saw that coming. So, you know, Christine, the essence was we need to look at how readily your sense of loyalty is countermanded by your need for approval. Okay, so sense of loyalty against need for approval. Well, if I speak personally, and maybe this is a way to kind of navigate this thought, I would say that I have got beyond, I have worked in myself beyond the need for complete approval. And loyalty, I am loyal to the truth, or whoever I feel is authentic, I guess would be my own personal answer. But let me know what you all think. Seemi, it seems quite a few people you've talked to are having seasonal effects, whether it's the winter blues or the anxiety of getting ready for the holidays. I know it is getting difficult. Cosmic 3IA, you've been getting personal messages from beyond about leaving people alone. You thought you were being helpful and hadn't realized you were getting in the way. Well, sometimes we do. We try and do too much. And, you know, it's like we have to tend to our own fire, because it's only us that can keep our fire burning. It's like the old sayings, you can't pour from an empty vessel. We have to put ourselves first. Thank you, Essence of Joy. Yes, being in truth and authenticity. And Jim, you're aligned with my personal answer. And Beth, you've started to try that as well. So many bombshells this year. Your anxiety overload. Some have been blessings in disguise. you're trying to let unfold without the hype. Yeah, it's so important. You remember what sometimes we get out of the energy of is being the observer. It is so important sometimes just to take a step back and observe. So, it's about speaking our truth kindly and following what excites us. I think that's important. And using optimism as a healing tool, but not an escape, because that's where the bypassing can come in. And it's about, I think, encouraging others, but we still have to honor our own independence. So Venus trine Chiron in Aries, Venus in Sagittarius trine Chiron in Aries, offers healing through honesty, courage, and shared inspiration. So this is the energy, some of the energy that we've got around this week. So I do think that what we do, hi Phil, good to see you. Hi Steve Bowden, good to see you. I think it's very interesting because I think that often what comes up in the chat energetically, because we are all part of a, we're all linked in, we're all divinely connected to the divine mind, if you like. And so we are all interconnected. Often what comes in through you and perhaps through me is what needs to be addressed. What's so fascinating is that it's a reflection of what actually is going on in the cosmos. So that what is happening in the cosmos is showing us what is actually going on in our everyday lives. So let me see, what else have we got? We've got to look at the 17th of December. And I'm going to go into this more in detail in my Wednesday Witter, but that'll be Sun square Saturn. So that's a little bit more, I think we have to watch our health. We don't overdo it on Wednesday. We could be getting a little bit kind of caught up in the hype by the middle of the week. And I think it's important to just take a step back, observe, breathe, and take time out. It's so important to pace yourself, especially at this time of year, with the pressures that everyone has about one day called Christmas Day. I mean, if you think about it, it's bonkers, isn't it? It's absolutely bonkers. And what can I say? So I also want to, I forgot what I was going to say. It must have been something incredibly important, but it'll come back to me. I think that I want to talk about the fact that on the 19th, Friday, 3i Atlas will be nearest to Earth. It doesn't fly past us because it's still really adjacent to the sun, but much further out. And it's heading, in fact, towards the sign of Leo and towards Jupiter. And so it's heading on off out that way. But I do think that and I don't think we can underestimate the energy that 3i Atlas has brought in to the collective, because it's an unexpected visitor. It's an unexpected energy. It's something unknown. And I think if we take that as the metaphor that it represents and apply it to our lives, it's asking us, it's inviting us, think outside the box, look outside, look further than the end of your nose, just look and observe. And all we can do with 3i Atlas is observe it. And I think it was, who was it? Well, I think Steve Judd's talked about this, and I think Stefan Burns talked about it, that in 6 months' time, planet Earth will go through the remnants of the tail of 3i Atlas. That is where the building blocks of life can be just floating around in all that vacuous space. What might be seeded here on Earth? It's a question that I can't answer, but I do think it's a fascinating thought. And I think it's important not to get carried away with the clickbait and hype there has been about 3i Atlas. As far as I know, unless we're all being lied to, it's not coming anywhere near Earth other than a very distant bypass on Friday of this week. And I think that it's important to see it for what it is. You see, the answer is in the way it was presented to us. It's the third known interstellar object to be observed, because it's only recently that we've had the telescopes and the science and technology to be able to observe interstellar objects that might come through our solar system. And it's the third known observable cosmic body. That does not mean it's the only one. And in fact, we probably get many, many, many cosmic objects from interstellar space zooming through our solar system. It's just we've never been able to see them before. So isn't it exciting that technology has got us to the point where we can see these things and observe them and learn about the beginnings of life, the origins of life, because the origins are just so exciting, because this is how planets, or, you know, in my fantasy, I might be getting a bit Neptune here. This is how planets are seeded. Let me see what you're saying. See me, Penny, as a Taurus, how does the financial side this week look? I think not as a Taurus, but I think we have to think about Uranus in Taurus at those 28, 29 degrees. I think that we may see a little bit of instability between now and certainly the end of the year, because quite frankly, not just because of what might be going on politically, but because at the end of the year, all the brokers and investors have to balance their books. And so they might sell off or buy, or, you know, or cash in. So it always makes the markets a little bit uncertain. But, you know, money is always going to be another of those aspects in life that we have, to a certain extent, uncertainty about. We can only really manage our own little setup. And I think that one of the scary things about this time of year in particular is how quickly it seems to just disappear. It just goes out. And I'm thinking, I don't even have really anyone to buy for. I have about 2 or 3 people to buy for Christmas. And I haven't even done that shopping yet. And that the money's just going out. I'm thinking, where is it going? And it's just, even, I mean, I think everywhere in the world, groceries, everything like that is just getting so ridiculously expensive. And it is a worry. But I think also what's reassuring is we're all in the same boat to a certain extent. And those of us that are fortunate enough to have a roof over our head, a fridge with some food in, and a little bit of money in the bank are doing really well. And I really wish that for all of you. AMAC, sometimes it's difficult to be openly loyal to our truth, because if we speak it, then the situation may become unsafe. Very good point, AMAC. Christine, we can try to embody the loving gentleness of friends and also be the half wild protector energy of territorial imperatives. We need to be guardians of the trust placed in our care. We most certainly do. Hello there, AJ Voigt. Good to see you. Welcome. And welcome to any of you that are new subscribers, because my 2026 videos have generated quite a few new subscribers, for which I am truly grateful. And thank you so much for giving that to me, because it's a great gift. And the advantage of being a subscriber is you get to know when I'm uploading more content. So it's not so much about the numbers, but it's about the fact that you get to see the content. And yes, thank you, Shirley. Hit the like. Please like, subscribe, comment. It just helps with all the algorithms. Now, with regard to our word for the week ahead, or our phrase, I actually chose the word joy, because this is supposed to be the season of joy, peace, and goodwill to all men. I also think that joy, sometimes we have to make a conscious decision to focus on it, and not on uncertainty and anxiety, but to stay with joy and stay in the present moment. And so I've got some quotes that represent joy. And then, of course, we will have our tarot of the week. But I'm not going to do them so that you have to try and guess what they are, because that didn't work so well last week, did it? Beth, your financial situation has gotten worse the last 2 months. Keep telling the universe, you put this in my life now, please provide supplies. 2 new stray kittens and food and vet bills. Oh, I do understand. Yeah, I know. I know. I mean, my kitties are probably one of my biggest expenses. They cost me a fortune. Would I change it? No, but it's really difficult. I really do understand. I really do. It's just tough. So listen, joy as inner freedom. Baruch Spinoza said, joy is the passage from a lesser to a greater perfection. And I just want to add something to what Beth was saying about financial, or the way we look at finances and asking the universe. We have to come from a place of abundance. If we come from a place of faith and abundance, and I know that's difficult when there's not much in the bank, but you have to know and have faith that your needs will be met. It's really not easy to achieve that. But once you get into that flow of abundance, my needs will be met, I will be all right, then you're halfway there. Because it's the frequency of abundance that you have to get in harmony with. And if we are saying these things, but inside we're thinking, well, I've got sod all in the bank, and purse empty, you're giving the universe a confused message. We have to. It's about getting into that frequency of abundance. And I just know it works. I'm not saying we become multimillionaires overnight. And believe me, you wouldn't actually want to be a multimillionaire, because that creates huge problems for a person. But it's about being able to live, and to live well, and to have, and actually one of the things which Christine was talking about, giving and honouring, the people that work in charities, or the services, or nurses and doctors. Being of service gets you in the flow of abundance. To give, you receive. When you give, you receive. So it's taking the risk to give your last, dime, penny, cent to the busker on the street, and knowing it will come back, because it will. Let me see what you're saying. You've been meditating, see me, on alarming rate, which usually happens this time of year. What feelings that have come up is 2026 is a year of purging and stepping up and out. Yes, that does make sense, see me, it does. And I think, maybe listen, if you haven't already, to the overview I've done for 2026, because I think it talks about that in a certain way. Essence of joy. Oh, you've come to like your name Joy at this late stage of life. Grateful for all of my wisdom. Well, I do my best. And you've taken risks all your life too. We have to. You're a sister Taurus, Beth. So money, lack of, has been on your shoulders. It will shift once Uranus leaves Taurus. Look at the spring. Next year is when things will shift. It will shift. It will change. But I think we're just going down into a bit of a dip at the moment. And yes, I've got Cappy out still. Absolutely. Yes. That was the one I had to do twice. I got it wrong the first time, or at least I made a couple of mistakes, which I corrected. And then I thought, this sounds so unprofessional. And so it went in the bin. So yes, Cappy is up. But let's have a look at a few more of these quotes about joy, because Epictetus, if I've got his name right, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. I rest my case. Marcus Aurelius said, very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking, Poonam. What's this? AMAC. Yes, Jim, service to others is always highest self-service. AMAC, sometimes to be of service to others, we may need to allow them to explore their potential and capacity to be independent and manage circumstances themselves. It's not harsh at all. That is called empowering people. We don't do it for them. We tell them what they can do, and then you have to leave them alone. They either choose to try or not, but it is not our job to rescue people. Our job is to empower people, in my experience. Christine, it comes from a deep and compassionate understanding of human shortcomings. It's as if a tolerant spirit dwells in the heart of everyone that asks only to be of service. The Star, can you please ask a question? Of course you can, Star. Tell me what you want to ask. So while you're writing your message out, Star, I'm going to read the next quote, which is Thich Nhat Hanh said, there is no way to happiness. Happiness is the way. And Lao Tzu said, when you are content to be simply yourself and don't compare or compete, everyone will respect you. And yes, that's right, Beth. I'm sure you noticed that when Uranus dipped back into Taurus, things went, whoop, so did mine. Mine did as well. And I'm thinking, what happened? You know, where's it all gone? It will change. It will change. And Jiddu Krishnamurti said, joy comes into being when there is no sense of conflict. And often that conflict is in here. Let's see. Hi, Lenny. Good to see you. You can catch us in playback. Joy, Friedrich Nietzsche said, joy is deeper than sorrow can ever be. Now that is very profound. And I think I ought to say that again. Joy is deeper than sorrow can ever be. I'd say that's very true. Rupert, hello. Could you ask, your Saturn is exactly conjunct your dad's Saturn. What does that signify? It means that you were born when your father had his Saturn return. So he was probably about 28 or 29 years old. It means nothing for you now in terms of anything, right? It's just that he was born, or you were born when he had his Saturn return. My mother's Saturn was at the same degree as my Saturn because I was born when she had her Saturn return. And it's just an interesting anomaly of astrology that when you compare your chart with a parent's, you'll find there are lots of synchronicities. It's just how it is. So, and actually what's interesting, Rupert, is you're talking about Gemini 9 degrees. And 9 degrees is quite an important, or it's not quite, it is an important point of Gemini, but I'm not an expert on why it is an important degree. And the person to listen to about that is Alex Trenauer. She does have a YouTube channel, and she does talk about the 9 degrees of Gemini and how important it is. Birthday side by side. Is that you and me, Beth? Because I'm 16th of May. So let's just see what else we've got here, because Henry Bergson said, joy is the sign that life is succeeding. Now, even if life is absolutely SH1T, if you're able to move yourself onto a vibration of joy, then what will happen is the universe will what's the word? It will interact with your frequency to ease the way and make some of the disharmony harmonize. Albert Camus said, in the midst of winter, I found there was within me an invincible summer. And let's see what else we've got before we go on to our tarot cards. Okay. William James said, we are amused or bored, pleased or pained, according to the way we look at things. It all comes back to the way, you're welcome, Rupert. It all comes back to the way we think. We can think on a frequency of joy, of abundance. I know it's not easy. I'm not saying it is. The thing is, it's a paradox. It's ever so easy when you stop trying. You have to let go. Let go, let God. Let go and have faith. I mean, I sound like an evangelist. I'm not. I'm just saying that it is actually about faith. Knowing your needs will be met. And Aristotle said, and this is quite interesting, joy is the serious business of heaven. And also we've got Plotinus, whoever he was, Plotinus. The soul is lifted by joy into a higher life. And Meister Eckhart said, if the only prayer you ever say in your whole life is thank you, that would suffice. And actually, that brings it perfectly to how to stay in a frequency of abundance and joy. Thank you. You have the frequency of gratitude. It immediately brings in that sense of joy and abundance. So, yes, the letting go is a tough lesson for sure. So did you ask a question? I'm still waiting to see whether you've asked a question. Let me know. And Jim is saying, deepest needs of the life path are never denied. That's so true. And it's also true that they say that we're never given something in life that we can't handle. And I think that's true because the biggest challenges pull out more of that stuff that is our core, the core part of the soul and the psyche. Blue 2 for Osprey. Joy is now. Live lightly and joyfully. It's better for your health. Totally. And Cosmic 3IA, our family is feeling gratitude. Everyone seems to be nostalgic. Okay, the star, you don't know how to put it into words. All right, my love. You could always put something in the ordinary comments and I can come back to you on it. So, or if you want a private session, if you want to treat yourself to that, just as we're talking about the fact that none of us have got any money, you know, go to my website, pennydix.com, and email me at penny@pennydix.com. And let's see, Christine is saying, animal medicine card was the dog. Nice. Loyalty, dog. You are noble until the bitter end. Your medicine is the teaching of true and loyal friends. Reclaim the power of loyalty to self and self-truths. Very nice. And so let's see what the tarot are going to give us for this week. So let's have a look. Right, that one. And now we want another one. And it's that one. And one more. So what else are we going to get? And it's that one. Right. Let's see. Okay, well, the first one is the Four of Cups. Now, I think that's really interesting because I think that is the people who are looking at, oh, this is all difficult and I haven't got enough money and this isn't going to work and everything's going to be difficult. I like that, Christine. Become your own best friend. Absolutely spot on. I think this is the cup of joy. I think the man in this card, the person, is being encouraged to recognize that joy is free. Joy can be ours through gratitude. Joy can be ours at any hour of the day and night. We just have to move. And I know it, listen, you heard me wittering away last week going on about how I couldn't sleep on Saturday night and I got all into, you know, the paranoias and the anxieties because I'm human. And that's the thing. We're all human and that's okay. Let's, Poonam, you like that one too, Christine. That's good. So let's see what else we've got. Oh, there we were worrying about finances, everybody. We have the 9 of coins. Well, why are you worried? Because actually this is saying all your needs will be met. You will all be okay. Get into the frequency or onto the frequency of gratitude and abundance, and all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well. And let's see what we've got next. And then, what do we do with all this abundance? And I think this is the energy I was talking about being the observer. And so this really, I think, is encouraging us all to do just that, to think about the future in a positive way, not in a negative way. Remember, what we put out in the collective creates the reality we experience. Do we want a reality that has no war, that has peace, that has abundance, that has enough for everybody, that has friendship, that has people not killing each other? If we want that, we have to intend it. If we intend it, we're putting it out there in that frequency. And then I think it just makes life so much easier. So Simi got the 9 of Swords, the Empress and the Emperor. You're at a loss. Oh, bless you, honey. 9 of Swords are all those fears you worry about that aren't going to happen, because the 9 of Swords is about all those things that you worry about that never actually happen. And then you've got the Emperor and the Empress, that wonderful union of the divine masculine and the divine feminine coming together in harmony. And let me see what else. Cosmic 3IA. You pulled the head of the unicorn. Was it not attached to his body? And inspiration of the present moment, becoming more conscious. The joy of evolving. The power of realization. We are more aware of what and how we are trying to express. Absolutely, Cosmic 3IA. And Lenny, you're really good at it. Okay. You beat yourself up, do you? Well done. Try and beat yourself up with gratitude and abundance. So, Jim, what are you saying? You never thought you'd be happy to be identified as a dog, but you need to be a loyal hound. I'm a cat person. Dogs and I don't somehow resonate. They all come to me and they look at me and I'm going, I'm sorry, I just don't know how to cope with dogs. And I think it's because I got bitten as a child and that trauma is buried deep in me and it's just never been resolved. But said with joy, I love that, Jim. So look, what you need to practice this week is living in a frequency of joy, harmony, and gratitude. And then that will elevate you onto that frequency. Remember, within all of that, be the observer. And don't get caught up in all the news stories. I think we're going to get more coming out this week about the famous e-files. I mean, they're giving us little snippets, and that's certainly coming out a bit. And so let's just sit back and get the popcorn in and watch what unfolds. The new moon, I will record that video probably on Wednesday. Pisces and Aquarius, I'll try and get done tomorrow and Tuesday. If not, they'll be up by the end of the week. I put so much into it, as I'm sure you appreciate, because it's just the sort of person I am, because I just love doing it and I want it to be right. And I just keep burning myself out. And so bear with me whilst you wait, like Jim, patiently waiting for Pisces. All the Pisceans out there, like Brandon, patiently waiting for Pisces. It's coming, but it'll be the best one, won't it? Because I've already done 11, so I know what I'm talking about. So that helps. So let's see. Yes, Cosmic 3IA, when we're all in sync, it's great. And all the ancient civilizations that all had dogs. Yes, I know they did. Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome, Elaine and everyone. And yes, Aquarius is coming. That's the next one on the list. But I've just got to go through the preparation bit again. I've got to look at the structure again and just see what I want to say. Oh, you're very welcome, the star. And listen, thanks so much for joining me. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and share, and tell your friends about it, and stay on the frequency of gratitude, faith, and joy. And that way, I think we could all have a pretty good week. Just be the observer. Remember that. And I'll say it again, just for Poonam, most of the things we worry about never actually happen. Amen. All right, my loves, take care. I'm going to go, and I will see you all next Sunday, as usual. That'll be our last one before Christmas, because Christmas comes just after that. And then there'll be one before New Year. So we're not actually losing any of our Sundays. So thank you, everybody. Thanks, Liz. Christine observing me. Thank you. Thank you. Cosmic 3IA, bless you. Bless you. And I look forward to seeing you. Oh, of course, it's Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah, Sil. And I have huge condolences for the terrible terrorist attack on Bondi Beach. There are no words. AJ Voigt, thank you for spreading the joy and wisdom. Favorite quote relates to not having your joy stolen. I will not allow my life's light to be determined by the darkness around me. Sojourner Truth. I love that. That's fabulous. Yes, it was very bad news, Sil. You're very welcome. Yes, the Aquarius and the fish are used to being last. So listen, guys, take care. I absolutely love you all to bits. And I can't wait to see you all and connect with you all again next Sunday. Bye for now. Bye.